Here we go. Best promo clips, and the nominees are Blee Bloops.
Wait. No, you don't have to read them.
Is that what?
You don't have to read them. But I love that you said Blee Bloops.
The dedication.
Hi, I'm Gabe.
And my name is Kat.
And we are the Ghouls Next Door.
Hi, I'm Ed.
And I'm Lorraine.
And we're the Warrens.
Hi, this is Michelle.
And I'm Anna.
And we're the Moms Next Door.
Hi, I'm Gabe. And I'm Kat. And we're the Ghouls Next Door.
Konnichiwa. Gabe des.
Cat des.
Watash tachi ha. Ghouls Next Door des.
Salut. Je m'appelle Kat.
Et je m'appelle Gabe.
Et on est les Ghouls Next Door.
Annyeong. Gabe ya.
Annyeong, Katia.
Wurian. Ghouls Next Door. Ciao.
Sono Kat.
Y sono Gabe.
Noi siamo Ghouls Next Door.
Hi, I'm Alice, or Quinn, or any blonde protagonist in a horror movie.
Hi, I'm Mr. Bedeviled.
Hi, Mr. Bedeviled.
Hi, Alice. Hi, I'm Leon.
And I'm Trilogy. And we're the
Ghouls Next Door. Hi, I'm...
And I'm... And we're...
The Ghouls Next Street? I don't know, something different.
Just slightly different, but they can't find us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghouls Next Door.
You can't find us. It's a secret.
I'm Kat.
And I'm Gabe.
And we're
The Ghouls Next Door.
Yeah, so welcome to
That's
our live
us.
show.
Believe it or not, this is our first live show.
Phew.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We're yeah.
So that doesn't get you rude. I don't know what that very
So that's your anime intro, specifically. For context, our usual one is just me making like moaning sounds, so it's a little different.
Hey, we did it! We know how microphones work. We have a podcast. Yeah, this is like kind of bringing me back, Kat. Remember when we used to do our podcast on our couch in our living room that had no windows?
Mm-hmm.
And it was just darkness, and we had to hold the microphone, and I would yell at you all the time.
Yeah, because I would be like, ah.
It's like they need to hear you. Well, we are the Ghouls Next Door. I'm Gabe.
I'm Kat.
And welcome to Respect Women's Podcast Festival. So,
At our first live show at a convention, usually we're in a tiny bar upstairs.
Yeah.
Or in a comic book shop. We've done that too. Like I said, we've been here for 5 years. Don't get married.
They'll eat your kids, which feels extra appropriate for today's episode.
Now live from Philadelphia, the awards show of the century of the next 2 centuries. Here's Gabe Castro.
Thank you, Ghouls Academy, for acknowledging us. I want to thank our god, Cthulhu, our cats, and all the other Ghoul Scouts next door to us.
And our other winner, Kat Cushion.
Honestly, it means the world to be here with all of you. It's just celebrating this momentous occasion.
Thank you all for joining us so much. This is the Ghouls Next Door 200th episode. That's right. It's going to be the biggest thing that's ever happened to Ghouls Nation here. I'm your unnecessary white boy host, Roland Boyden. Think of me as the Ryan Seacrest of this affair. The equal amounts of attention spent on the hair. So thrilled to be here. We've got an amazing show, a look back through history, through the past 5 years, everything the Ghouls have done, tons of clips. We're going to walk down that memory lane, and I think you're going to have a blast. Let's just jump right into it and bring these Ghouls on here. 200 episodes, y'all.
Happy to be here, Roland. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for hosting this gala of sorts, this award extravaganza, you know?
I can't wait we got a lot to get to. I mean, 5 years, 200 episodes, a little tiny piece of each of your souls to have to make that happen. It's all been, put together into one show tonight where you get to look back at all of it. And you've got a bunch of awards to hand out to folks who've made this incredible Ghouls run happen. We started with a look at all the intros from the show. That was pretty cool to get to see. Not pretty cool. This is super cool to get to see all the different ways that the show is kicked off, from your live shows to your foreign film series, all the languages you had to learn just to make that happen.
That's very cringe, but we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's respect.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so like that's not obviously all of our intros. I had like this this fever dream idea to edit all of our intros when we had guests, but it's like nonsense. We used to have this like early Ghouls days. We had this we had this whole thing going, like this whole skit where it was a part of the Ghouls lore that if you came in, you were a part of our show, that you then, like, your souls belonged to us and you resided in our basement.
Yeah.
And that was like a thing that we kept going for incredibly too long.
Yeah.
To the point where like there's just like one where we had like Len and Vince are amazing of Mission, but they're also like as cool and comfortable as they are with us, they're also pretty professional. And so we had them on our show and we're like, you live in our basement. And I was like, you cannot just tell like two grown men that they live in your basement, Gabe. Like, what are we doing? But it was really funny to hear like how our guests would react to that. Like Sergio Galliano was very funny, where he was like, hey, wait, what's going on? Like in the background, you could hear him like, I didn't say it. I didn't agree to this. And then we kept that going until like our first live show. We even said that like everyone in the audience now resides in our basement.
Yeah.
And it is like a gag that comes in a later episode too, because Jeff is in our basement forever. There's like a lot where it's just like, what are we doing? But we always just do too much.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, we don't have the ability to be chill or calm. We're just like, what is the most exaggerated version of ourselves that we can be right now? That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Part of the magic.
Mm-hmm.
I think we came in with this idea that like we already had this substantive like audience fan base. Like we came in like everybody knows who we are.
Yeah.
They're gonna get our jokes. They're gonna get our humor. They're already our best friends. Like of course we have this podcast and people are gonna love us. And so that energy is there when we first started, and it's like chaos. I tried. And all of the episodes, I was just like, I can't believe we made it to 200. Why did no one stop us? So at some point it changed, but it was like for a very long time.
Yeah.
It was rough. And so like now we have some fans and we can actually be like, oh, people love us.
Yeah.
It's cool. I do not know where we got that confidence.
I started this podcast never having listened to a podcast before. So I feel like that shows in a lot of my
really.
Yeah. It's just a blind confidence that was undeserved at the time. It's okay. We made it this far.
So out of all the intros out there, I guess you just watched them all, Gabe, right? So if you had to pick an award, because you do, because it's an awards show, because that's how it's going to go, which intro would it be?
Yeah. So I think so a lot of them are really near and dear to me, which is why I included them. Like I love the Moms Next Door. And for the record, that was my mom's idea. She said it first. And so then we made sure that Kat's mom did it too.
Yeah.
So that would be cute. She's like, I'm the mom next door. You can hear her. It's very Bostonian. So I as much as I love that, it's just like an episode no one hears. But I think the best is, it's so funny because it's not us, but I really cherish this episode because they were so like dedicated to performing us.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not themselves. It's the first time Mike was on our episode. Yeah. The second time Isaiah was. They were very new to being our partners at the time. And we forced them to do monstrous men in our place and perform as us.
Yeah, it was honestly crazy. And I think like you could tell it was love. Just because, like, otherwise, in what universe, after like a month of dating, would you agree to pretend you are that person in their podcast? That they, like, it was just really wild that they were so down. And I think that's a real testament to how much best boys they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they came in, they commit. Like Isaiah had so many of his little sniffles. Like he was committed to Kat, and like. Mike made sure to say dope quite a few times, and he also like led the conversation in the way that I do too, where he's just like, and next we're going to talk about this. Also, I like had such a thing for Mike's voice. Like he had his own podcast, and I was like, I love him. so I just got like I listening to it again. I was like, oh yes, I remember. I love that guy.
So wholesome.
So our first 2 awards.
Yes,
for
we
the
present
evening.
Best Voice, Mike Levitt and Isaiah Locke.
Yeah, it's Best Boys.
Dun, 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 dun.
Or as Isaiah would say, the booze next door.
Yeah, he does say that a lot. It's cute.
Okay, what's up next?
Yeah, let's keep it moving. We got a bunch of awards to get to, so let's we don't want like an Oscar situation. We're just
With the music comes on.
So among the many tireless efforts of the Ghouls here, doing all the work that you do to make the show going, promoting it is a big piece of that. Do a lot of promotion. What are some of the ways that you promote your show? How do you get it out there?
Yeah.
We have
when
a crew.
We started,
I'm kidding.
Huge staff. There's a huge staff.
Yeah.
So many behind us. So many real humans that aren't just us
in our
crying
mind.
because we don't have enough time in the day. When we first started, we did a lot of extra things. Like when we dressed up, so that was a thing. But like there were like for our found footage series, we did this whole like social media skit where it was like these throughout the week I'd post these videos that are just like me approaching Kat, like something is weird, something's going on in the house. I was like, Kat, someone burned this picture of us, and Kat's like, whatever.
That's still in my bedroom.
The burnt picture, And then like later, in the week, I made this video where Kat comes into my room when I'm sleeping. And you just see this time lapse of her standing and staring at me. And she's got like her cat. And I made it on my phone
over her bed. Yeah.
I did it on my phone, and I had this like weird app that I can't even remember what it was. And I had to like painstakingly make the timestamp so that it would look like time was passing while it was fast forwarding. And it was just like, it took entirely too long for this thing that like maybe 3 people saw.
Yeah.
I do remember one audience member, or not audience, but someone on social media was like, she's staring at you when you're sleeping. Like they were really into it. It was very fun.
I feel like I was inspired by that Dear David social media extravaganza that we were following. I feel like we're like, if they can do it, we can.
He's so good at it.
Yeah.
Yes. But we also started way back quite a few years ago now, where we would make short little video clips of our show so that people can get a little glimpse into what was going on. Because we cover a lot. And so we wanted to be like, we're fun. We're having fun here. Like we're educating you, but we're also having a good time. And so we started back when we didn't have
video.
So it's like waveform with like the album art. And then later it became actual clips from our video show.
Yeah. 2 of them have gone viral on TikTok. Not that are featured here, but just like in general.
They are not featured here. I wouldn't say they're our favorites, but
yeah.
That's always the way to go viral. It's one of the ones where you're like, but why?
Why?
It's your genius. You're like, this is going to the moon, but then
the key is that they're short and they say something very specific, like and pointed. Like there's no ums or pauses. It's like, here are our thoughts, and then everyone's like, wow.
Yeah, we had to work to that. You definitely see that.
Jokes. Yeah.
200 episodes later, we figured out how to be a little more poignant.
Concise, yeah.
Here we go. Best promo clips, and the nominees are
Cosmic Apocalypse, God's VHS tape.
It's like Big Bang,
Big Bang made us, Big Crunch eat us.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh, that was a mistake.
My bad. Like rewind.
Yeah. We're a VHS tape in the little blip of universe time. That God just takes out and it's just like, well, we'll try again.
I don't know what I was thinking. Oops.
Yeah, so it's like Futurama where he's just like sitting in his little blippity bloops in the sky.
Yeah.
And, but he has a VHS tape in this scenario.
Okay.
And he's watching humanity and he's like, guys, this is awful.
Let's start back at the top.
We are not going to renew this season. Let's start
of humanity.
Fresh. There's no season 3 of humanity.
Oh no.
And then it's like, and he takes it out. He's like, people, and he writes it on there with a Sharpie, and he puts it on the shelf next to other species that he was just like, that might work. And he pops into it, and he's like, you know what? We're gonna start fresh.
And maybe the blue blurbs will do better than us.
Yes.
Or whatever he comes up
Schmeckles.
with. The
Schmeckles.
The Schmeemorps.
Yep.
Or the...
Isolation, outer space. I'm the gym now.
Not allowed outer space.
Yeah,
we're not the calm. Oh, I'm kind of calm, but you're not the calm one, Gabe.
Oh, no,
you don't
murder.
get to go.
There's no way. Could you imagine if I was next to someone in space and they were chewing really loudly? Like, hey, can you help me? There's a latch over here. I can't figure. Bye. What happened to Jim? He was the pilot of ours. You know what? Who's up for learning how to pilot? Who's up for getting their pilot's license? Because here we go.
And fun fact: we're in space. There's no back. No one's coming back after Jim. There's no second Jim.
Maybe there's a.
You
manual.
have to be Jim now.
You're the new
Karen.
Jim. The new Jim. Look at me. I'm the Jim now.
Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo becomes a god.
Yeah, and he just melts, and the skin starts to starts melting, and it disappears. Yeah, and he's like, that was a good smoothie. All right, so what, you want to fight or something? You're next. It's like,
Piccolo's immediately like, I need to go merge with a god.
Yes,
and then I'll be
legit.
right back. He's like, I got
back. Give me 5 minutes. Let me get 5.
Stay here. I got to do something very drastic for like a few minutes.
The Ghouls survived 4 years of podcasting and Halloween. F them kids.
Oh, you're watching
babysitting.
You're watching children.
And it said, when's the last time you checked on the kid?
Fuck them kids.
And then
I'd leave. I'd run. Like immediately, dude. They're in the house. Dude, no.
It's good. Better I didn't expect, but I welcome.
He said I'm going. Bye.
Calling the authorities from down the blocks. It's like, dang, that's crazy. There's somebody in that house. I'm not gonna.
Wow, bye.
Alice in Borderland. We are a gloomy generation.
It's me in my 20s.
Yeah, just go. Like, I don't know who this person is in the bed. Whatever, go. Get him out.
I also don't know if I'll be here tomorrow. It's kind of it's a
toss up.
Yeah, that was me in my early 20s, 1000%. I lived Alice in Borderlands, but without the sky lasers.
Yeah.
The lasers were drinking and bad choices.
Same. The gloomiest generation, baby.
Yeah, we already accepted the inevitable demise of ourselves, and in fact, just be like, all right, cool, that's fine.
Yeah, just figure it out.
We don't have any property. Got nothing tying us down.
All the things that they said were made you worth something is not available anymore. So what are we, just all worthless? I don't think so. I don't think that works.
Yeah.
So instead, we need to find worth in other things.
Here we go. Get my envelope out here. And the winner is La La Land. Oh no, wait, Moon. It's God's VHS tape.
That was good. That was good. The commitment, honestly.
There you go. A round of applause.
Look good. Look at 200 of that.
Great. Subtitles too, not just for accessibility, but also they're hilarious when they get a little out there and you're having to put in the raspberry noises and all this stuff to read along.
Yeah, the screech at the end of God's VHS tape gets me every time. I wasn't even laughing until the end, and then that happened, and for the next 3 clips, I was still laughing about that, and that's why it wins.
Yeah, essentially, because at the end of that, you're like, yeah, how bold of how rude of us to assume that they would use language that we use.
Yeah.
Sounds that we have. Yeah, for sure.
They wouldn't speak English.
Yeah, I love
it's just
the God's VHS tape was wonderful. Yeah. That's one that we always go back to.
It's just nostalgia. It wins for that.
Yeah, Cosmic, the Apocalypse, and the Isolation series have a lot of really great clips because we were just like kind of delirious for a lot of those. So
It's true.
for anyone who wants to listen to those.
But actually, the clips in there is one of our next awards. So it's pretty timely. So the classically named F Them Kids Award goes to Sergio.
Yeah, that clip
it just seemed
goes-
fitting.
I can't with that clip.
And it's funny because it's on there, but we didn't even say anything. It's just Sergio shining.
Yeah.
Taking the show. He's the new podcast host now. Yeah.
It's so good.
It's so good.
They're in the house? No.
Yeah, it was so
That's
authentic. He just
crazy.
didn't even hesitate. He was just like, F them kids.
Yeah.
I'm not going in there.
Love him.
He's very
Appreciate it.
confident too. He stands by it, like as as it devolves after that. He's just like, I've made my decision.
I made my choice. Don't let me babysit. This is my future now. It's good.
Yes.
It's good.
Yeah. Let's go to the next thing.
All right. Topics is going to be our next award. And man, there's just so many questions I could ask about this. I think maybe the diehard Ghouls fans out there know just how much, or maybe some of them know just how much work you do when you pick a topic. But a lot goes into it. I mean, if you pick like a whole TV show, right, that you're going to review, then you got to watch a whole TV show. You pick like, a movie that has a couple movies in it. You got to watch all those. And then you got to be thinking about all the research you're doing for it and what the societal impact is and all like that. So, when you're thinking about these topics that you've had to pick, what are some of your favorites? What stands out?
Yeah. We've done so many.
It always comes back to classism, I think. The end of the day, it's always just like, what sucks? Classism. What else sucks? Racism. It always comes back to the isms.
Yeah.
I think we always end up
Like
talking
white
about those
supremacy.
somehow. Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, when you lift the hood, like in Scooby-Doo, when they lift the head.
I was like, what is it?
No, it was white supremacy all along.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that does tend to be like what our end is. But we've done so many different series. I think like we used to just do like whatever we wanted. And then we started doing series when we did New Year, New Me.
Yeah.
And that was so fun because it was like we did monstrous women, monstrous men. We did body modification and social media.
Yeah.
So it was really like this idea of like you're changing who you are.
Yeah. The whole concept of self. It was very meta, I guess, or I don't know. It was like very bold of us. We're just like, we're going to start this whole new thing. We're going to rebrand the Ghouls. New Year, New Me in all of the senses. New content, new identities, personas, but also like a way more organized us. And then I feel like we were just more organized from that point on. Like we just planned months in advance instead of like, hey, there's a movie that looks good. Let's watch that and then talk about it. I became way more organized.
Yeah. And then it was also like, because it allowed us to get creative with things. Because then we did like our Romance Gone Wrong section, which took a lot of different forms and really changed us too. Because we had like the episodes titled Don't Have Sex and then Sex Happened, where it was originally you had sex, didn't you? Things like that. And then like we've done like monsters, all kinds of monsters. We've done writers. Those are really fun. I think when we do like biographies like of people go crazy. I think like Anne Rice is still one of our top episodes ever, which is so weird because I don't remember us saying like, I don't even think we were nice. We weren't very nice to Anne Rice in that video.
We just read like Google facts about their life and then talked crap.
We were like, this is kind of a problem. But people really love that. Joe Hill gave us a shout out or like, yeah, he like retweeted it or something on Twitter.
Yeah. This is one of the first times we were like, are we famous?
What's happening? We did Stephen King at that time. I liked when we did directors, like when we do those kind of biographies. Like we did classic when we did H.P. Lovecraft. That was like one of our first like big fan moments too. Someone wrote us a song on YouTube. It's
Oh my
weird.
God, I forget that. I forgot that entirely. That's like kind of amazing.
Yeah. But we also like I think some of our favorites of all times would be like the Isolation series. And that was suggested actually by Jeff, who was watching some movie, and I still haven't seen that movie. Which is funny because that's what spurred the whole thing. But it was like this idea of like what happens when you're isolated in all these different places. So it was like isolated indoors, outside in the wilderness, it was outer space, underwater, and I think that was it.
Underground? Did we say that already?
Yeah, because we did the descent. So
And
that was
little
like
did
really
we
good.
know
Yeah, like little did
that
we
the
know
pandemic would happen.
Yeah, isolation indoors, and then like one of the next series was like our apocalypse series, and of course, including that was viral apocalypse. So we talked about Contagion.
In a reflection of the Ghoul, we can tell the future, and we may not know it at the time, but if people were watching, they'd be like, wow, it's been predicted. This show is predicting the path of humanity, and then one day God will actually take out the VHS tape and write people in Sharpie and put us on a shelf.
I will say one of my favorite things to say is there's a Ghouls for that, because most times people will like bring up something and be like, oh, did you hear about this, or did you know about this in the world? And I'm like, there's a Ghouls for that. Like our apps series, like there's a
there's an app for that.
Yeah, people are like, did you hear about the new thing where you can communicate with someone who died because they reanimate them using this app on the internet? I was like, yes.
Yes,
you
we
know how
did.
horrifying reality TV is? Yeah.
We have a whole episode about it.
Technology.
I don't know if it was good because I haven't listened to it in a while, but I think it was.
Yeah, no,
with rose-colored glasses, we're like, yeah, we're fantastic.
It's
10 out of
dope.
10.
It's very good, and it's right before we started doing visuals. But I would say, like, I like that it's like a difference. Like when you get most horror podcasts, they kind of have like a similar trend, or they're like talking about things in a specific way. But we really get out of our genre all the time and like somehow rope it in. Like our Mind F series was like crazy. Like Kat had to like start learning like physics and like time travel probability and like what are parallel universes, and we were like Schrodinger's cat. Like we were learning like these things that are so out of our wheelhouse for this. Like
yeah, if anything, that's my favorite part, is that it gives me a reason to use my degree, but also I get to learn about all this stuff. Like it's very true to, I think, the essence of our show is that we always want to be learning something new, and that's why we'll never run out of content. We'll be here for 200 more hours, everyone.
Yeah. No sign of running out of content. There's always something horrific happening.
People will always be trash.
Keeps churning them out, yeah. I have a pre-written question from Gabe here to kick off our next section. So you ghouls sure are extra. How do you spice up your episodes and have fun?
Thank you for that. You performed that so well. Felt so natural and authentic. Exactly the way I wrote it. Perfect. Yeah, so I wrote this question and I included this because, like I said, we are really extra. We really, like, I don't know where we get this confidence or think that people are paying attention to the absurd things that we do.
Yeah.
But we do. And so, like, sometimes I'll just be like, Kat, what if we did this thing? And she's like, all right, I guess we'll do that.
We did a TikTok about that where it's like, are we going to make this?
Absolutely not. Has there ever been a time where you're just like, because it seems like it's just like you just go for it, but has there ever been it's like too extra? That was just too.
We're eventually going to do a short film where we're Jolene eventually. Like that's the most wild thing I've ever heard, and we're
gonna be Dolly Parton.
Wild things. I still remember like getting introduced to the concept of Saw 9 and being like, what?
Yeah,
sure. And I feel like that's always my response.
Yeah, I think if anything, there's only ever a no, and we're not a no. It's just like, do we have the capacity, or does that seem realistic? Is what I go to Kat for, because I'm like, we should do this. We should do all these things. I have a million ideas. I've written 17 scripts. How about this? And she's like, can we do that? Like, let's talk about it real time right now. And they'll be like, oh, okay. But most of the time it's still yes. It's just like, how do we do it? It's
you're
no.
like, you're the forest and I'm the trees of our
Bring it back, refocus.
group. You're like, this is all of the things we could do. And I'm like, yes, 100%. We're going to do them. Let's think, though.
Yeah. So I don't know what I think our show is, but I do give it a lot. I give it so much more, like, there are just times we just do things. I'm like, you know, it'd be good if we did, like, Kat actually just did one in our most recent, it's not in this clip, but in our last episode was my fears of the paranormal, and there's a ghost in there. There's 2 ghosts in that.
Oh,
and
yeah,
someone
that was
actually
the
said
idea
something.
tonight.
Kat had that idea. Kat was like, something's going on. And then when we closed out, she was like, okay, real quick, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna edit this. And I was like, okay. And like, people are loving it. People are eating it up on TikTok too. So it's not just me, but sometimes I'm just like, hey, let's do this. And then we just really have fun with it. And then we drag all of our friends into doing it for us.
Yeah, I think we're getting close to doing more crazy fun times. I feel like for a while we were tired, but now we're like, let's
ready. Let's do it again.
Let's be manic again. Let's go. 100%.
Ghouls Nation, it's getting even more extra on top of it being extra, and it's coming. I think we got some clips too. We got some nominees for extraness. Episode extras.
Cat is possessed. Host.
It's very interesting. What is...
I don't know.
Okay.
Ghouls are parallel universes.
I mess it up, it's gonna be bad for everybody. I don't understand.
Ghouls explore their haunted basement, haunted houses.
I'm checking it out. That's it.
No.
We're going.
I will break your legs.
Let's go down the stairs. It's like really. Hold on. The door just like it closed.
What the shit?
Sorry, everything's falling apart.
Well, because there's things slamming.
There's. Hold on.
We're gonna die.
Okay, so.
Oh my god, we're gonna die.
Well, that didn't work. They'll pull the handle.
Well, now I think there's a man in our basement.
Ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, I can't say that I know what that is. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is kind of funny. I don't know if it's all that kind of funny. Okay. Okay, so that was a thing that happened. How are you feeling better? You kind of seemed a little
so messy down here.
Ghouls perform vagina dentata, don't have sex, teeth.
Today we're talking about vagina dentata. What a wonderful phrase.
Vagina dentata ain't no passing craze. It means no penis for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free penectomy. Vagina dentata. Woo! Yeah.
Choose the red or blue pod. Simulated realities, Matrix.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pod, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pod, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering you, viewer, is the truth. Nothing more.
Oof.
Yeah, if that doesn't tell us we're extra, I don't know. What would? It was a lot. Look at us do.
All right. And the winner is Parallel Universes. Woo! The reason for that is that skit goes for the whole episode. So throughout the episode, we actually changed clothes between each section, and like our hair, like it was a whole thing. Like we were like, we are the different versions of ourselves because we watched Mr. Nobody.
It's the hottest I've ever looked. I'll never achieve it again.
I'm proud of myself for turning those AirPods blue and red.
Yeah, it made me laugh. Even now, I was like, that was good.
Yes. And that haunted houses one is even longer in the episode. It's chaos. I now understand why no one has ever listened to our haunted houses episode.
Yeah, it was a lot. I was just like,
well, to go with the clip, those are amazing.
That was our social media. We were trying so hard when we had like 2 followers.
Yeah. And we got dressed up like crazy people. We were just like, it doesn't matter. Who cares if no one sees? We know. It was absurd.
Speaking of costumes, I'm not sure everybody knows that y'all dressed up. You don't even have to cut this, Gabe. You can just leave this in for everybody. Don't even make a note. They can just see that.
The true essence of who we are. Yeah.
So speaking of costumes, going right into costumes here, I'm not sure everybody knows that y'all used to dress up even before Ghouls was a TV show, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
Kind of speaks to that extraness a little in its own way. And of course, with the costumes comes all of your makeup as well. I assume you have professional makeup artists on set. Yes.
Yeah. Their name is Kat.
Yeah. We have a team, it's just a million me's, all of my other personalities. All the parallel universe cats unite as one and come do our makeup for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we did our first episode, we were really grudgingly doing it. Like, because I wanted to do it, and Kat was like, sure, whatever, I'll do whatever you want.
Yeah, I'll do a podcast, sure.
But we were like super tired. It was like after work, it was like 10 p.m. We're like, all right, we gotta get into this. I was like, we have to do one or we're never gonna do it.
Yeah.
And so like we had a script, that's where you can hear us say, we are the Ghouls Next Door, which is so funny instead of weird. Then to get into just to get ourselves like jazzed up, even though it's just a podcast.
Yeah.
I think we like took a shot and then we dressed up like clowns. We like put lipstick on our face.
Yeah.
And then like had this, and you hear that like Kat, like one of the first things Kat says is like, it's horrific to see you talk to me with a clown on your face. Although
and it literally was just like lipstick, like,
yeah.
And then like on our nose, and we're like, we're clowns. That's the entire thing, right? That's all you have to do. No, nothing else.
Yeah,
and
then
hat, your costume. Yeah,
but then we used to use we used to dress up because those are what we used to promote the episode. I think for like witches, it was just like a thing on our head to be a hat. We did a horrible episode where we were children that is erased from the universe.
Yeah.
We did dolls where I was dressed as Chucky and you were dressed as Annabelle. And that was really great makeup work, Kat. So yeah, we did it in the beginning when no one was actually looking. At some point we stopped. Kind of when we had like guests, we kind of stopped, and then
we're like, we'll be normal for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then we were like,
do the most.
Let's do videos, and then it was like, okay, when we do videos, like the first one we did, it was the AI one when we did her, and so I was dressed as Joaquin Phoenix, like with a mustache. And then but the very next one we were like, okay, if we're gonna be on screen now, we have to bring back the crazy costumes, and that's when Kat dressed as an alien. So
it awakened something inside of me where I was like, I am a makeup artist, and I'm not actually, but it's very fun. I like whenever we do short films, I'm like, I'm gonna do everyone's makeup.
Yeah,
whispering is great on a podcast. It just we've been doing this 200 hours. I know what I'm doing. But yeah, it like awakened something. In terms of, I was like, I do art. I can just put art on my face and it'll translate perfectly. And it kind of did. It's
amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
And now you're in costume when you have guests on, right? Have you ever had a guest who's just been like, whoa.
I didn't receive the memo.
We had, I would say, Bobby Likes It Spooky came on, and we were dressed like in the holidays spirit because we were doing Anna and the Apocalypse. And so he was like, oh, hold on 1 minute, and like went and grabbed something. And that's generally what happens is like if people come in and they're not expecting us to be in costume, they're like, oh, okay. The same thing happened with Angelina when we did Phantom of the Opera. because I was like, I had the face on, and she was like, oh my God, let me grab something, like, to add
And also
to it.
now it's like expected of us. Like I know when we've been on Victims and Villains, they're like, I thought you're gonna dress up, right? Like we're really excited to see what crazy thing you do. And we're like, yeah,
We're
okay.
normal.
And I taped a bunch of, because we watched that movie, and I taped all the check marks to my wall or something. I don't even remember. We really go all out every time.
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
I don't know. People just expect us to bring it.
Yeah.
And we do.
We do.
We've got some nominees, right? Should we take?
Yeah, let's look at the nominees for our favorite cat costumes.
Nice.
Cat as alien. Earth girls are easy.
I am an alien, so
yeah,
I've been an alien my whole life, and I'm gonna continue to be an alien if that's okay with you.
Cat as Chris Evans. Classism and Bong Joon-ho.
So, if you don't know what classism is, it is as Gabe or Minister Mason sternly said, it is the order.
Yes.
It is the order of society that we follow. It is what we decide. Well,
Cat as Mr. Bedevil. Apps for death.
I want to call my boyfriend looking like this.
Cat as Leonardo DiCaprio. Don't look up.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good already. It's ridiculous.
Because I already look like him because we're both just white people. How do you think I did? Did I capture your essence?
Did I get you?
It's almost too uncanny. Are we related?
Cat as Edgar Allan Poe. Classic horror series, Edgar Allan Poe.
That really hurts. That's good. There's also a very good picture. I just wanted to include that video because it was great, of Cat holding Kitten with the raven mask on.
Yeah,
and then she's just like she had to, like, the problem was, like, she kept smiling, and I was like, you're Edgar Allan Poe, you have to be sad. And then so she'd be like, and then would see her face. For that she looked like Edgar Allan Poe.
It was great. It was great. It was just like
ridiculous.
10 out of 10. I'm insane. But the winner and my all-time favorite, because I just think I removed my eyebrows using toilet paper tissue. So that was just like 10 out of 10, was Mr. Bedevil. Very exciting. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. It was, my favorite thing that we used to do is just like, you'd be like, all right, we're going to do this episode. And then you'd come downstairs and I've painted my entire face blue. That's also one of it's just like, I'm this now. And you're like, I didn't know we were going this hard. Like, fine, I'll go change. That's good. It's good.
I think it's really funny because I think we've kind of switched too.
Yeah.
Because now I go too hard. Like, you show up and you're like, I thought we were being hot girls today. I thought we were doing hot goth girlfriends. And I'm like, no, I've gone there's blood everywhere. I don't know what to tell you. I can't figure this out. Because, yeah, before it used to be like, Kat would be like, I'm a blue alien. And I was like, okay, well, I'm a cute girl from the 80s. I kind of teased out my hair and I put a lot of pins. And, like,
yeah,
I don't know, I want to look like Gina Davis.
This is me now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, when we started, it would just be like, Kat, what are you doing? Or, like, any excuse to, like, gender swap. We do that because, like, what is gender?
Yeah.
Though I feel like I don't pull it off quite as well. My
like
douchebag Franco wasn't that great.
I still think it was funny. But yeah, I feel like that was part of what made me realize I was gender fluid, honestly. I was like, look at this. Look at me. I look great. This is the hottest I've ever been. I still actively think that when I was
Chris Evans,
I was like, I'm the hottest Chris Evans that ever was. And I still tell Isaiah, and he's like, no. It's cool.
Please
like,
not.
you look like Chris Evans, but no. That's not the best thing you've ever done makeup wise. And I was like, yes, it is. But it's
that
okay.
is one celebrity that I was really sad did not respond to our tweets too.
Oh, I
he was
know.
pretty active on Twitter. I thought he would. I thought he'd get a kick out of it, but he didn't.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Chris, if you're listening, Christopher,
watch that episode.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, acknowledge us.
You can see me. Also looking ridiculous. I did my own makeup that day and it was bad, so I tried.
I thought you looked great. You looked like you'd throw a shoe at somebody in that episode.
Order!
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
But we also, Kat, on top of that, have an award to give out besides just like the
yeah,
a winner.
I can read. This one goes to me for best creature feature. 10 out of 10.
So good at looking like craters.
Yeah.
Looking like
We really need
craters.
those sound effects. Find some. Maybe it's just like
I'll
party
add
music
some
or
in
something.
post.
Yeah.
It's like get a bunch of clips of us just
Even though
like
there's no music right now, every time there's an award, be like, oh yeah.
just like super cut them in like us like
Yeah.
We're walking up on stage doing a weird dance.
Almost trip over your dress. It's good.
Yeah.
It's fine. Excellent. What's next?
We got we can't leave the world of costumes and makeup and cosplay without talking about some of your outfits, Gabe. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Yes.
Gabe as Melanie Martinez. Melanie Martinez's K through 12.
But that coupled with how honestly like upset she is and just the imagery of them devouring the cake.
Gabe as Mrs. Lovett, Sweeney Todd.
So I just thought it was like kind of funny that both of their answers, even though like are obviously wrong, and one being very satirical, the other one just being like kind of funny, was to eat people.
Gabe as Nona, Death Parade.
Must be interested in games with murder and
Yeah.
the exploration of the human soul and who is good and who is bad and what do you do when you're back
This will
against
scratch
the wall.
that itch.
Yes.
Gabe as a werewolf, Ginger Snaps.
I saw that it gave me a new career goal, which is that one day I want to star in a horror film that finds me as some terrible creature puppet for the last 20 minutes, just so I can point at that and go, that's me.
Gabe as Miss Crustacean, The Bay.
The film was all the different uses that were very real. So, as a lover of found footage, and I've said it a million times, if a film can effectively convince me that this is found footage and not footage pretending to be found, I will wholeheartedly suspend disbelief and enjoy the film.
Yeah.
Look at the character development.
Right? I will say most of the time I like just being a person.
Yeah.
Like I've been Tessa Thompson. I've been Gina
I'm
Davis.
surprised that wasn't on there. This is a good one. Tessa Thompson.
It's not as good.
You had
as
good
some of
earrings.
these costumes.
Yeah, that's fair.
I did
It's
make
just
her
the
earrings. I just love being like a people. Like if there's a person in it, usually I'm just like, I'm that person now.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
but I've evolved. I do cosplay now.
Yeah.
And that's why the winner is me as a werewolf. Because I actually use like stuff.
Tell them about your Instagram.
Oh yeah, at Hi King Pandora. Follow it.
Yeah.
Shameless plug. Check it out. My cosplays. But yeah, I bought like the latex and that took me so long. That took me so long,
So
dude.
good.
Like
Could have been right out of Buffy.
Yes,
That
so
awesome
good.
forehead and everything. Man, it looks
Yeah.
No.
Now I'm addicted. Now I'm like, yes.
I
Now
must
anytime we could do
transform.
something ridiculous. I was like, I get it, Kat. I get it now.
Yeah.
I get why when I came down you were like, what?
If the men find out we can shapeshift, they'll tell the church. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's why you get Best Celebrity Impersonator.
Yes. A lot of yes and improv happening in those.
It's good. It's good.
Okay, well, for the next segment, what we have a question this time, and it is, Roland, why do you let us bully you into making these short films with us and like doing them in incredibly short notice and like in a small time frame and with no funding? Just like, let's do this crazy thing. We have no shape.
Well, I was hoping you'd offer me your 200th episode hosting job one day if I just did enough.
A long game. Yeah.
Playing the long con. They're some of my favorite films I've ever made and some of my favorite projects I've ever gotten to work on. So I just count myself extremely lucky to have gotten to be a part of it. including getting to be getting to be a guest on the show, and then also getting to do things like host the 200th episode awards night. So,
but we are going to show the nominees for our favorite short films, and for this category, we only have 4 because we've only made 4 so far. But trust us, we have many brewing and ready to go. And as long as Roland continues to let us harass him into stealing his weekends to film in basements and hopefully in the future outdoors while singing dressed as Dolly Parton. Here's hoping.
Yeah. Hopefully we can get those rollerblades back on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the nominees are
You're dead.
The doll from the other movies appears on the screen, but this time, he's sexier. We know he's sexier because he's covered in sex webs.
Hello, Becky. Would you like to play a game?
Of course, yes. 100%. Game, please.
Come here.
All right, are you okay?
You heard it too?
Yeah, what did you want?
That wasn't me. I'm not.
Here's Jolly. You get it? Because it's like the axe from the.
The cinematography, though. Every time
It's
I'm
so
just like,
hard to
wow.
choose. Yeah, I was like, wow, these are really amazing. Like, I was just like, Lock and Key does not get enough attention. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
And I cannot run for anything, but it's amazing. What a great film.
Oh man, I feel like it made you run a lot because we had to do all those takes. And we ended up like way far away from your house. Just, like moving in the wrong direction. And then we're like, I guess eventually we should try to get back.
It's because we couldn't find road that was like, or like sidewalk that was smooth enough.
True. Yeah.
For you, because it was just like we live in
in
Philadelphia. They do not have
Pennsylvania
great roads.
They
Yeah.
make the sidewalks for rollerblading while holding the camera. What was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. And I think you did fall once, didn't you? But luckily saved the camera.
Yeah, I'd never been on roller skates before. I'm pretty good at ice skating, so I was like, I know how to do this. And then like immediately when I got out the door, like the very first thing that happened is I just completely fell and so I think you and Mike were both like, are you good? Like, are you ready to just careen down the streets at night? And I was like, no, now I got it. I just needed to get that one out.
Yeah.
What a
And then
crazy.
you did.
Yeah.
And we were able to do it. We went and it was fun. That was very fun. I never got to be a final girl before.
Yeah.
And to this day, whenever I see a horror movie and I see someone struggling, I'm like, should watch their documentary.
Yeah.
Should have seen it. Ghouls been telling you. Even like people will text me too, like, Ghouls said the key.
Yeah. You gotta get the key in the lock. Don't have a cluttered purse.
Yeah. And then Saw 9's amazing. And it's not our script at all, but we took it so seriously that I love it.
Mhm.
And then Two Ghouls, One
Super
Ghost was like
quotable
so.
Yeah.
Two Ghouls, One Ghost was like really swept under the rug because we didn't really promote it that much. But now it gets a lot of attention on TikTok because it is like a very short, it's like one of those like very short horror stories that people are related to. So it works. But who's the winner?
We could, tell us.
And the winner is Jolly Butcher.
That's crazy.
That's because we win every time. We're always the winners.
Yeah, this Mike in there. You've got some of
Oh my god, yeah, that was so good. 10 out of 10. It's before my hair was
great
short.
props.
That just
A lot of improv.
I left every single time I watched that while I was editing, which was a lot because it's going through like frame by frame.
And
Yeah, there's so many. Like, that was the one where, like, writing that script, I was like, this is it. This is the one. And then when you were sending me, like, the clips, every time I watch it, I'm like, this is it. This is, I don't know, like,
yeah.
we're going to be famous for this one. It's so dumb, but I love it. And, like, it is the one getting the most traction. It's been screened the most. It was screened
Mhm.
as part of Cinespeak. And then it
And you get
was
to
just
see it,
like
on the big screen and everything. You know, get
Mm-hmm.
to
yeah, we got
A panel.
yeah, like we got a Q&A panel. It was out Cherry Street Pier. It was like through the dark or something. I forget what the series was
I
called.
forget what it's called too, but yeah.
But then it screened at Horrific Hope with Victims and Villains, and then it's also screening at FLAF as part of their shorts block with the other kind of fantasy meets reality kind of interesting short films that so as part of like the Philadelphia Latino Film Festival, it was just like I was like, this is a real film festival. Like not to discredit anybody else who's doing things for us, but I was just like, that's crazy. Like I had to like apply for that, and it's like like they were like, yeah, I never in a million years. I was like, this is so silly. They're gonna be like, haha, that's so good, Gabe. You
you did
something
a thing,
so funny.
Yeah.
And then they were like, no, you're in the whole slot. People are gonna watch you. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's why it wins because it's getting a lot of attention, and I think we put a lot of our love into that too.
For sure. And I mean, we couldn't do any of this without Roland. So the award for best cinematographer goes to Roland.
Yes. Yeah, we couldn't do any of those things.
We're gonna have to print it and mail it to you. I don't know if I actually have the ability.
Go ahead, Rose.
Sorry.
No, that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to shake my VHS award trophy here and just thank everyone. Thank my family.
Thank the Ghouls Academy.
Yeah.
Thank the studio. Thank the studio execs.
Thank the Lord above.
Our extensive film crew. Yeah.
Which is just the four of us. Because we had like the best like special effects. Like, didn't you say you hadn't even used like After Effects in a while when you were doing that?
I learned a lot. Yeah, making Mike. Well, I mean, obviously that's real. Those are all.
Of course.
A few touch-ups where we had to use After Effects to get that headless effect in Jolly Butcher to have Mike talking headless on the wall. So yeah, it was great. It was just such a fun day of shooting too. Get to be in a creepy basement.
Yeah.
Like an electrical substation or something, creating weird, crazy noises. Driving
That's classic.
which I think only helped with the comedy.
Yeah. And we just got to do whatever we wanted, which was amazing.
Yeah,
so
it's
I
one
love
of the faves.
Yeah, and so we have had a lot of amazing guests on our show. Like we used to do it every 3 episodes was a guest. And then that was like crazy. Our first ever guest was Sierra, who is just a friend of ours that we dragged on to talk about her nightmares because she had like sleep paralysis. So we talked about those things. Kat talked about narcolepsy. It was like one of our really honestly educational episodes.
Yeah.
And then our second ever guest was Jeff, talking about horror video games. We had Sergio talking about horror movie music, Deb talking about Cronenberg, yes. Michelle Mission talking about black horror, all kind of like for forever. We even had someone talk about tattoos because we were doing Friday the 13th. And then we would do series. So we did like a whole series of like the Tribbles. All of the Tribbles came on, or other horror creators, or like, man, I don't know, just anyone.
Yeah.
We started shooting shots at some point. Instead of just having it be our friends. And then we still invite our friends back and they become amazing. Like we shot our shot with Dory, lovely Dory, and Beyond the Bot, and she was amazing. And and then we ended up getting Crystala too. So whenever we can, we're just like, get them on our show. So we love that. Even still, like things that aren't even saved as episodes, we had guests on that were on our IG Live. We did that for a little bit too. We talked to comedians and all kinds of different people through IG Live, which was fun. So like we're all like, what I really love about having guests on is that we can kind of step away a little bit from like our usual, like we're teaching you things, blah, 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 where we get to learn. and people are usually like really great, like very interested in certain subjects. Like we learned so much about the Phantom of the Opera
Oh my God,
when we
yeah,
had
that's
Angelina
true.
on, because we didn't know. We were like, we watched this movie, it was a real creep, and she was like, "Oh, okay, let me help you here." And that was just like a pleasure. Always learn something when we Moto is on. Like there's just a lot. So just want to say thank you to all of our fans who are out there, that we really, really appreciate you. And that to all our guests as well. Like we really appreciate you coming on and dealing with us. We're not going to say we have a favorite guest, but I would say one of our very top favorite guests ever is Jeff. And that is one because when we did our Demon Slayer episode, we were trying to figure out what our picture would be. And so I was like, you could be Zenitsu, so I could put yellow hair on you, or you can be Inosuke, which means you have to be like shirtless and like, you know, just like your boarhead boy. And he was like, all right. And he just like took off his shirt, ready to go. And I was like, never in my life as a guest just been like, sure, yeah, I'll take off my clothes for you guys, whatever you need. So that was amazing. But on top of that, Jeff always comes with notes. Like Jeff comes like with the idea of being a ghoul. Like people come on, they have fun, and a lot of people don't always know the way that we take things seriously, and that we come from this analytical approach, and that we're talking, you know, about these subjects in this specific way, which is fine because we have fun. But Jeff comes where he's just like, I took notes.
Yeah, he studies
words
before
of
coming
advice.
on the show.
I am analyzing and teaching you something. Like
he has flashcards. He's just like, I just wanted to make sure I got this in here. Yeah, I wrote this down before. Yeah, he's always on it.
Every single time. Always. Like he's taught us like different words for when we did the video games. He like taught us like the different phrases for things, and like, you know, Jeff always pulls things out of there. So I would say like Jeff is one of the top, but we have some awards.
We do.
For some of our other guests, and this is by no means all of the awards that we could possibly give out, but just ones that kind of stuck with us because we feel really appreciated and really appreciate them in joining us and being a part of our Ghouls community.
Yeah. So first up, we have Flesh Technology Award, super prestigious award, goes to Deb Rudman, who was on our Cronenberg episode.
Yes. Just for being one for being just like a precious human being that we appreciate, and just like that I adore in all aspects of life.
Always brings melons to our live show to gift us, or honey. We're like fresh honey from their garden.
Their bees, So, and that one was so good because like we really hadn't really dabbled into Cronenberg or body horror in that same way, and it just like opened our eyes to what could be. But also, like, as far as guests go, there was a lot of talk about like the impact of media on you as a person in that episode. So she did a really good job of that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Next, we have Best Film Suggestion, Girl That's Scary, 10 out of 10.
Yes, Gajiam Haunted Asylum was their suggestion. Great job.
I still think about it sometimes, honestly. So good.
I'm so glad I didn't do it. And other films. Like they also recommended other films that I'm still like watching because I was like, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, no. Just such great words all the time from them. Next we have Wholesome Scary Content with Dory.
Yes.
Dory is just the most wholesome human.
Yes, love her. And she was on our show twice. And both times brought her A game, and just is a delight. Just honestly, if you don't know, please
you'll get your awards
Dory.
in the mail. Probably not, but actually,
follow
Lovely Dory. For
however, Girl That's Scary, you don't get your reward until you get tattoos with us.
Yeah,
because it was promised.
There's a catch. Then we have the Voice of Reason award that goes to Wiimoto, obviously. Because they really are, honestly, they always say the best words. So many people say the best words, but they really take the cake. With making us realize, like, impact just through existing is, like, a thing.
Just the fact that we are the voices in this genre and this community, like, already is an impact. And so sometimes it's okay to just have fun. Like, she's always there to tell me that. And she's also, like, continuously, like, if I'm like, oh, this is tough or this is a problem, she's like, why? And then I'll like bring it up and like, you know, there's like hurdles and life is unfair, and she's like, okay, well then just pretend that you're a white man who was born with whatever you wanted and just do it anyway. And I'm like, you right. Get through it anytime. So always a
Yeah.
voice of reason, whether that's just have fun or like take the world, like take it, do what you
Yeah.
want. Like
Run it
the only
down.
one stopping you is you. And I'm just like, stop. Like but keep going. But also, oh my God.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so in that vein, just yeah, so we did ask to celebrate our 200 episodes. We asked people to send us videos talking about, what the ghouls means to them, and it's super sweet and
Yeah.
emotional to watch them. We got way more responses than we thought. I was like, it'd be fine if we just force our moms and then obviously our
Yeah.
boyfriends and maybe like I beg Jeff to do it and like that's it. And I'd be like
Yeah.
totally fine. And that's not what happened. We got so many and it really, really made our day. So we just want to say thank you to everyone who did submit. For people who
Mhm.
didn't or just wasn't able, like that's totally fine. Like,
Yeah.
we
We
still
forgive
love
you.
you. We still love you. Like that's a lot. We get it.
Yeah.
Just know that you're appreciated regardless, and that we hope to continue to have these people a part of our next 200 and whatever comes next.
For
So
sure.
let's hear from them.
Hi, my name is Eunice Levi. I am a writer and director and guest during the community care episode. What I love about Ghouls is the intention. Every show aims to elevate the conversation of horror beyond spectacle. The approach is always to think of horror as a vehicle, and they've done that consistently for 200 episodes. Bravo, bravo. I can't wait to witness the next 200. Congratulations.
Hey, congratulations, you witches. It was my honor to be a guest on one of your episodes many moons ago. With your unique style, humor, and depth into the relevance of horror in the world. Keep working your magic for the next 200.
Hi, my name is Wimoto Nyoka from Dusky Projects. I know the Ghouls Next Door because Gabe is the sound designer for my podcast, Black Women Are Scary. I've been a guest a couple of times. I would say my favorite memory is this horror hangout we did last year where we played this really great game, Wed, Bed, Behead, and I think a lot of the guests were very surprised by my answers as well as I. Just for the record, I would wed Frankenstein, I would behead Dracula, and I would bed the creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah, I said what I said. And the important lesson that I learned from all of that and from Ghouls Next Door just all around is always have fun.
200 episodes, Ghouls. That is amazing. What a feat. What an accomplishment. Congratulations. I'm so psyched to have been a part of a few Ghouls memories over the years and to be here to help you celebrate that 200th episode. What a milestone. No signs of slowing down, so we could be celebrating 300, 400. It'll be here before we know it. I've been listening to the Ghouls since 2018. I started listening on my commute home. Got Gabe and Kat in my ear, making my commute a little nicer every night, and just fell in love with the program, and I've been listening ever since. And it's been so cool to see just the remarkable degree of consistency to continue to put these shows out week after week this whole time, and always improving and expanding the quality. I think for me, it's been really cool to see expand the edu side of edutainment. You know, it's always been entertaining. You've always had that entertainment factor down, but really expanded what you're doing on the education side to bring information to your analysis that you're doing. I think of the many things I've learned from Ghouls, just seeing horror in a different way has been a big one. Seeing how social commentary, social discourse can be presented in a way through horror that is a really unique lens and gets you to think about some of these things in a way that other mediums might not. And I think I've also just renewed my appreciation for horror and remembered just how fun it is to get scared, to get really spooked. Can't believe it's 200 episodes. I've gotten to be a part of a few Ghouls memories over the time and been so thankful that I have made a couple of videos together, from Lock and Key to Jolly Butcher to Two Ghouls, One Ghost. Some of my favorite Ghouls memories center around making those fantastic projects, whether I'm, it was chasing Gabe through South Philly on roller skates with a camera, or seeing Kat talking about whales and kidneys shackled to a bed for Saw 9. These are just some of my favorite video projects I've ever gotten to be a part of, and looking forward to, before we get to episode 400, seeing what else we'll have made. So congrats to you, Ghouls. Congrats to everybody in Ghouls Nation that gets to be a part of this ride, and can't wait to see where it goes from here.
Hey, Ghouls. Congratulations on 200 episodes. It's a big milestone, and thank you for all of the wonderful hours of media analyzation, but also at the same time the laughs and also the friendship we've made along the way. So it's screening Jolly Butcher at Horrific Hope this year really made me just kind of humbled by the fact that I get to work with you guys a few times a year. So thank you for everything.
What up, Ghouls? 200 episodes. Nothing but love for y'all. And this journey has not been easy. I get that entirely. But it has been so worth it. I remember, what was it? I believe November 2018? 2018, I believe, when I was a guest on your show. I was very lucky to be there. Very, very thrilled to, be a guest. It was, I think, one of the first times I was actually a guest on someone else's show. And we talked about anime, and we geeked out, and y'all created the actual anime theme song that's now used for your live shows and things like that. And I felt incredibly honored, and I still do. I feel honored that I get to know y'all on a personal level. My best friend, and as well, my love of my life. So, God, yeah, I'm very happy for both of you. 200 episodes and counting. This isn't over. It's only truly the beginning, because there's going to be so much ahead of you. You're going to do so well. And when the time comes, just tell them, cut the check, because y'all are more than deserving. And I think one of the things I've gained from being both friends and being around y'all so much is that I am able to think more critically about the media that I take in and analyze that to an even higher degree than I think I did before. You two get into the nitty gritty, you get detailed, and you are thorough on your approach at every way in every sector that one could possibly think of. And it is that detail, that diligence to your craft that really blows my mind, and truly appreciative of your podcast and everything that you offer. So I just want to say, always, much love. The Super Saiyan Tribble, now known as Senpai Savage. Much love, Ghouls. Keep doing big shit.
My favorite memory of the Ghouls is being on the show. I got to host one of the episodes way back, and I've been a guest a couple times, and that's been super fun. And also seeing the growth of the show, seeing the Ghouls go from a media podcast that's just talking about movies and what these movies mean, to go on and sort of refining that to be one that talks about the issues that they represent and how those issues affect real people, and then actionable change that can be done. Seeing that growth has been really cool. I guess the lesson that I learned the most from the Ghouls is that the media we watch is really important. It impacts how we see the world. So it's important to think critically about the movies we watch, the shows we watch, the music we listen to, the games we play. All of those can impact how we see things, and it's important to keep that in mind when going and finding new stuff to pass the time.
Hey Ghouls, it's Lovely Dory, and I want to congratulate you on 200 episodes. That is amazing! Wow! I was so honored to be a part of your podcast, getting to talk about things from Perfect Blue to Omori and Doki Doki Literature Club. So please keep up the great work and keep on spooking people. Boo!
Hey, Gavin and Kat, congratulations on 200 episodes.
Yes, Horror Queers, Trace and Joe here. And I got to say, we had a blast talking about She Dies Tomorrow on y'all show, which, bit of a kooky little film.
Yes, and then, of course, you came on our show to talk about Mother, which was
another kooky little film, right? I think also with that, and with She Dies Tomorrow, y'all really brought your A game for two very challenging, a bit off the beaten path films in terms of accessibility and narrative.
It's true. And I think that's one of the things that Trace and I most respect about your show is how you carefully balance both, you know, a nuanced critical discussion about the film, but then also you're bringing in those real world ideas. And I just think you find such a good balance. We really envy that of you.
I am very much in agreement with you, Joe. So Gabe and Kat, cheers with my invisible glass to 200 episodes and hopefully 200 more, all right?
Yes. We'll talk to you both soon.
My favorite memory. Well, if you remember me, my name is Sergio. I was on a couple episodes talking about my love of music, talking about my love of horror. And my favorite memory has got to be when I watched La Llorona with the Ghouls. Yeah, just I have such a connection to that folktale. Gabe and I shared that connection, and I was just so excited to be on and watch that with them. It was so fun, and I just, obviously love hanging out with the Ghouls anyway. So that has to be, and Linda Cardellini. I mean, I don't even need an excuse. I don't even need an excuse. What is my biggest lesson from the Ghouls? I mean, it has to be the lesson that they impart all the time, right? Horror is what you make it, and there's no reason to be confined by the ways that critics or the general consensus of what a genre is, or what media can be. And the Ghouls have a really good concept of that, and are awesome. It's awesome to hear them, talk about how people can identify in so many different ways. There are certain projects that transcend even just what a movie can be for some people, right? It can be this exploration of the human experience, and I just love when the Ghouls get that deep about it. So congratulations on the 200 episodes. Hope here's 200 more.
What's going on, guys? This is Ken Sledge from Sledgehammer Horror. I just wanted to really quickly congratulate the Ghouls Next Door on 200 amazing episodes of their podcast. And I was lucky enough to have them as a guest on mine, my first horror movie, and learn how horror started for them and getting a deep dive and respect for all the hard work that they do. So congratulations on 200. I'm so excited for the next 200. You guys are amazing. Please continue to put out the amazing content that you do.
Hi, my name is Jeff Bethay, and I was a guest on the Demon Slayer episode of Ghouls Next Door, as well as an episode in the early days that I think is now lost, where I have one of my favorite memories of goofing off with them and playing Until Dawn and doing absurd things like killing the tension when a character has a terrified look on their face by making their eyes look all around and just make them look absolutely ridiculous. And an important lesson that I took from Ghouls Next Door and just spending time with them is that the media that we consume or perceive typically in one dimension can really just be peeled back layer after layer and digested much more enrichingly and can tell us more about ourselves in the process. So super stoked that you guys reached 200 episodes, and here is to many, many, many more. Love you guys. Peace.
Hi, it's your mom. Congratulations on your 200th episode. That is so exciting, and I am so proud of you for, as usual, starting something and sticking with it. So congratulations to you both, and many more happy returns.
Fans out there, this is Ghoul's mom, #1, Gabriel's mom. I'm so proud of these girls. We're at 200 episodes. Who'd have thought that they would surpass every goal that they had? Anyway, I hope you all come and celebrate with these very talented, funny, and educated women. And I just want to say my favorite episode is the one that I'm in. So, y'all come and celebrate with us and give these girls some praise. All right, love y'all. Bye, Ghouls.
Speaking of being intentional in your podcasting, we are on our way to our 300th episode.
We are.
But there is another podcast, a friend podcast of the Michaud Mission that is celebrating their 200th episode.
Yes, sir.
The Ghouls Next Door.
The Ghouls Next Door. The Ghouls who sometimes have been next door to us.
They have. They've been on our show a couple of times. We've been on their show. Gabe and Kat, they do a fantastic show that is a horror podcast, but is a horror educational podcast.
Yes,
You know
it
what I
is.
mean?
Yes, it is.
It definitely looks at all forms of horror in literature, movies, television, all forms of horror in folklore. And they're entertaining with it, but they definitely take more of a
almost educational.
Yeah, like a scholarly
like
approach
or scholarly. Absolutely.
Right. But it's definitely still fun.
Absolutely.
And you want to talk about two women who sat down and were just intentional about doing their podcast, and now they do the podcast. They've made short films based on the podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They've done live events. They've blown up. I remember when a couple years ago there was a women's podcast festival here in Philadelphia, and their show was maybe only maybe not quite a year old. They had the biggest crowd there.
Yeah.
They are a fantastic podcast, and we just want to say, congratulations on 200 episodes.
Congratulations. Well done. Looking forward to the next 200.
Yes. The Ghouls Next Door is a great show, and look for them returning to the mission, and as they always do.
Absolutely.
Come October.
Again, they're the Ghouls Next Door. So we visited them. They visited us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, it's Cat Daddy and Jazz the 40-ounce connoisseur. And we're Girl That's Scary. And we're pulling up to wish a happy 200 episodes to the Ghouls Next Door. Shout out to y'all for doing a damn thing. Gang, gang. I felt like an old person. But also in that same breath, I wanted to pull up with a really good memory. It wasn't something that we did together because it doesn't always have to be about that. But you guys had a really dope expert and conversation on your one of your most recent episodes regarding Jacob's wife. And I really aligned with the conversation regarding how the treatment of some characters versus the others, i.e. when people go missing. Don't want to say too much in case the people ain't seen Jacob's wife yet, but y'all knew. Yes. And I want to hop in when we recorded Gonjam Haunted Asylum together because, we talked about found footage and how immersive that is, big draws, and, Blair Witch comparisons. And we laughed a lot during that time. And it was a good time. So, yes, congratulations. 200 that's big time. Y'all big time, big shining. Okay. L, congratulations, 200, 200, congratulations, 200. I love that for y'all. Wait, that's congratulations. Congrats, y'all. And until we meet again. Bye.
I love them. That was great. Yeah, it was so much. We had to watch that video, like the compilation, before this episode, just so that we wouldn't cry on air.
Yeah,
So it was like so emotional. Yeah. It's good. It's working so far, so fine.
There's a little crack in the voice there, so I'm just,
yeah, it was. Just keep watching until I'm desensitized. Like open my eyes.
Like horror movies, it's fun. Children murder. It's like, it's fun.
It was really nice to what we got from people, and even like Ken Sledge, like we were guests on his show. Like he wasn't even a guest on our show, but it was so nice that he came through, and seeing some of our friends. Michelle Mission gave us our shout out live on their show, and they just celebrated 300. Yeah, so I was like, it's so crazy. I was like, we're behind, we're coming.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, as someone who actively expects people to always disappoint me just through trauma, I was honestly shocked by how many people submitted, and it was really cool. I was like, wow, people don't hate us.
They do care.
They actually like us, maybe. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Just go to things, no expectations. I was like, 2 people will submit, and that's beautiful. That would be an honor. And just so many people did. It was really cool.
Yeah. Even our moms, which is lovely.
Yeah. My mom's texting me, how do we do this? I don't understand how tribute works.
Yeah.
Can I just text you the video?
I got an email about the Ghouls need a video. Can you Photoshop me? Photoshop me to look better than this? No, Mom, I cannot.
Make me look hot for the internet.
She's like, let me look like a Kardashian. Why? No. Yeah, but I would say it just like, over 200 episodes, there are times when we hit these lulls and we're like, why do we do this? And then we're like, is anyone out there? Is anyone listening? Does anyone care? And we have been honestly surprised every single time, from like our grant from IPMF, like the Independence Media Foundation. That was phenomenal. Getting into FLAF, like that was crazy. Like those little things, but even just this, like going viral on TikTok or whatever, pales in comparison to these videos. Like hearing people be like, I really love this episode. I wasn't even in it. Like I just really liked how you talked about it, and seeing like those comments on YouTube, like that's what keeps us going and will revitalize us for the next 200 for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I will try not to cry the entire time. It's good.
Yeah, I've only cried once on our episodes. It was completely allowed. It's very
I
emotional.
remember it. Yes, I do.
It was a pretty emotional episode, so
Yeah.
so very, very appropriate. But any last thoughts, Kat? Will we wrap up?
The thing I've been saying over and over again, we can effectively haunt our relatives, and that was a dream of mine I didn't know I had until we made it to this far, 200 episodes. It's 8 hours and change of our voices. So you can go to California and back listening to us. That's what I meant.
Yeah. I was like, that's 200 hours.
200 hours. It's a long time. We can't even listen to our own content to boost our views with that much content. You know what I mean? Like
Very
it
hard.
would take a while. So it's just crazy, honestly. So thank you to everybody for actually listening to us if you do, because that's insane. Still blows my mind. Yeah.
Any last questions for us?
I don't think so. This has been a great night. Thanks everybody out in there in Ghouls Nation for joining us here for this 200 episode adventure awards show night. Wow, this is not the
I like that we have the
paid for when
nation.
you hired me, but
Thank you so much, Roland, for being a part of our 200.
yeah, I'm so
Yeah, you're a part of so much of what we do, and like as far as like yes and goes, right? Like having that community of like us being like, hey, what if we tried this? You're like, yeah,
100%.
And we appreciate that so much.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Well, for the kind of like nodding, it's like I forget that this is audio. Listening while they're doing their dishes or something, and they're just be like, this guy doesn't really say anything, huh?
So
very pensive.
Yeah. She doesn't seem to appreciate their thanks at all. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it's like you never want to be the person who's like, yeah.
I am always thinking of if you're having to edit, then if I'm adding the same like little like verbal ticks in over and over again. So if you're
that's fine. We have that all the time.
I say yeah a million times over and over again.
We both say yeah to each other. Just make sure we know we're there
with the same tone every single time. So it's like it sounds like it was edited in.
Yeah.
Copied and pasted a bunch.
Yeah.
A little stick in there over again. Yeah.
But it's authentic. We say
it's
yeah in the same exact way every time.
Ghouls gotta be ghouls.
Yeah.
Ghouls be ghouls. Yeah. Well, for the 200th time, Kat, don't get married. They'll eat your kids. Oh my gosh. Bye.